Well, I'm glad yesterday we managed to get through trick-or-treating hours with no rain.
Yes, that was very pleasant.
Yes, today was a tad windy.
It was very windy today. So we had wind gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour, which did cause some power outages across the state. The good news, though, is that the power has been restored fairly quickly to a lot of customers. And also good news, the wind will start to taper off overnight, and tomorrow I think is going to be a lot more pleasant. But we'll take a look at some of those wind gusts from today. Here's our highest wind gusts that were recorded at the airports across the state. A gust of 43 today in Bangor, a gust of 40 in Freiburg, a gust of 37 in Greenville, 39 for a gust in Holton. The good news is that the wind will be slowly tapering off overnight tonight, and then tomorrow will be a lot more comfortable. Wind gusts in the afternoon getting to about 15, maybe 20 miles per hour. So maybe a tad breezy, but in comparison to today and even yesterday, certainly a lot less windy. And some of our high temps got into the mid-50s, especially if you were closer to the coast. Got to a high of 57 in Wiscasset today, 54 in Portland and Sanford, but areas of far northern Maine significantly cooler, only a high of 43 today in Greenville. So we had an area of low pressure that moved through yesterday. At this point, that area of low pressure is mostly gone, but if you take a look at the satellite, it's a little bit difficult to see towards the end of the frame, but those lines coming off of the mountains there are actually called gravity waves. It's because of the clouds that come over the mountains, and it's just a cool little meteorological fact that I wanted to point out there. So overnight tonight, we'll see mostly clear skies. Therefore, overnight low temperatures will be very cold. A lot of us across the state getting to at or below freezing. And then tomorrow, we end up with a good bit of sunshine, with the exception of the mountains, likely stuck in clouds for a good bit of the day there. By the time we get to the evening hours, a good bit of sunshine, but we will fall back, so we'll have an early sunset during the day tomorrow. And then for Monday, starting out the day with some sun, increasing clouds in the afternoon, and then we have two areas of precipitation. They're not going to phase or come together, but we do have some rain to talk about for the overnight hours for Monday into Tuesday. You can see here, especially in the late afternoon, early evening, a little bit of shower activity across the coast, and then that second front comes in through the mountains just a couple of hours later, possibly some heavy rain in areas of the mid-coast and down East Maine. A lot of that clears out by early Tuesday morning, but then Tuesday, because that system departs, will once again be a bit windy with wind gusts out of the west about 35 miles per hour. So then we have another system that comes in for Thursday. This one is a little bit more confusing. The European model here is a little bit later, so it'll be during the overnight hours, Wednesday into Thursday, and it has a much more organized system and a direct hit. We could even see some snow in the mountains and some rain outside. However, the GFS doesn't agree. It's a bit earlier, but it has most of the system being disorganized and sliding south. So we'll keep a close eye on this system as we go throughout the rest of the weekend and into early next week. Right now, I think we should play it, and there might be a little bit of precip Wednesday night into Thursday, but we'll keep a close eye on that as it continues to develop. Fall back is tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on when you wake up, at 2 a.m. That's when we're going to turn the clocks back. You'll get an extra hour of sleep, also a good time to test those smoke alarms, but the era of early sunsets is nearly upon us. This sunset tomorrow will be at 4:30 p.m. Marine forecast sees 5 to 10 feet. We do have a gale warning in effect until 8 p.m. tonight. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast. So a lot of sunshine during the day tomorrow. We will have that early sunset because we fall back at 2 a.m. coming up to night/tomorrow morning. And then Monday, we start out with some sun, but then increased clouds later in the afternoon, and then have some shower activity, mostly overnight, Monday into Tuesday. We clear out relatively early during the day Tuesday, but it'll be pretty windy in the afternoon, very similar to Friday or Saturday. And then we have another system, Sam, that comes in for Wednesday night into Thursday. Still a little bit of uncertainty there, so we'll keep a close eye on that one.
All right, some of those temperatures in the 40s.
Yeah, it's starting to get really chilly.
Yeah, I feel like it was just yesterday. It was like summer, like 76, nice.
And now those overnight lows, especially tonight and the next few nights, they're going to be at or below freezing.
All right, well, better get used to it.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Dana.